Hi everyone, welcome to Lace Academy's YouTube videos. This is a follow-up video of our series of videos where I am giving an explanation of how the questions given from aptitude section of TCS NQT held on yesterday, today, that are 24th and 25th October in various slots in the best and the fastest way. Let us see a few more questions that were given in the first two slots of today, that is 25th of October 2020. A sales representative's commission is 6% on all sales up to 15,000 and 5% on all the sales exceeding this amount. He remits 47,350 to his company after deducting his commission. What were his total sales? So I would like to take direct options and see which of the options would directly fit here. So if 50,000 is his sales, first 15,000 6% commission will give him 900 rupees. And remaining 35,000, he gets 5% commission. 35 5 is 175, so 1750. So his total commission is 2650. If I remove 2650 from 50,000, perfectly 47,350 is coming. So 50,000 is absolutely matching the given conditions. Let's see the next question. When the list price is fixed at 30% above the cost price and it is sold at X% discount, the profit percentage, whatever is coming, is 80% of the profit percentage when the list price is 25% above the cost price and the discount is 16%. When 25% above cost price is listed with a 16% discount, we actually are getting 105 by compounding process, which says 5% profit is there. Now the profit that is needed in the first case is 80% of 5%, which is 4%. So by taking 30% above the cost price, with how much discount is giving you 4% profit, we know that 13 eighths is 104. 8 comes when there is 80 and 80 comes where the discount is 20%. So the X value here is 20%. This is the magic of the process which I call as compounding. If you want to understand clearly the process of compounding, go through the video on the concept of proportions that I have uploaded in this Lace Academy channel, where a full class of proportions is there, which tells you how we are getting these direct values. No unnecessary formulae, no unnecessary tricks, shortcuts, or anything like that. Direct tables. 13 eighths 104. If you know, your answer is over. Let's see the next question. The ratio of average speeds of A and B is 8:7. On a racing track, if B is starting at a distance of 2 meters ahead of A, at what distance from the starting point will A catch up with B? If A wants to catch up with B, both have to go to the same point at the same time. Let's say this person is traveling at 8 meters per second, this person is traveling at 7 meters per second. So every 1 second, A is traveling 1 meter more than B. Already B is 2 meters ahead of A. So to cover this 2 meters gap, they have to travel to 2 seconds each. Then A will travel 16 seconds. This person is traveling 14 with already 2 meters, so 16 perfectly matched. So they will be meeting each other at 16 meters distance from the starting point. This is a very straightforward question. Let's see the next question. A sum invested at compound interest at a certain rate of 3 years earns the same interest as it would earn on simple interest at 18.2% for 4 years. 18.2% simple interest for 4 years, the total interest percentage is 18.2 into 4, which is 72.8. 72.8 comes when we have 1728. 1728 is 12 cube. 12 cube is coming when I take 120 whole cube. 120 whole cube actually means that the interest percentage for compound interest is 20%. Then only 3 years will get 72.8%. This is also magic of compounding. So please go through the video of proportions completely to understand what we are doing here. Once we know this, these are all very straightforward steps. So 20% is a compound interest rate. So what percentage more or less is a compound interest rate than the simple interest? So he's asking 20% is what percentage more than 18.2%. It is 1.8 more than 18.2, 500. So it's very near to 10%, just less than 10%, I have to say, 9 point something. So take that option and go to the next question. Don't again keep wasting time here by solving it. It's like 1.8 by 18, which is 10. 1.8 by 18.2 is 9 point something. You can say 9.8, 9.9, right? Let's see what the next question is. What's the mean deviation from the median of the given data? First, to get the median of the given data, I'm arranging the data in ascending order. These people's mid value is a median, which is 34 plus 46 by 2, 40. So now deviations are the differences from 40 with all values, 12, 6, 6, 12, sorry, 8. Mean deviation is a mean of all these deviations, straightforward question, by number of values. So 8, 32 by 4, which is 8, right? Now let us see the next question given. Raju lends 3000 rupees to Bharat and a certain amount to Charan. At same time, at 6% per annum simple interest. After 5 years, he receives a total interest of 1650 from both. So normally 5 years 6% interest is taken on simple interest. The total percentage you should get is 30%. So this 1650 should be 30% of the total money. So 30% of the total money equals 1650. You should know 3 into 55 is 165. So the total money given to them is 5500. Out of that, Bharat is given 3000. So Charan should be given the remaining amount, which is 2500. Very straightforward question. He asked whether we know 3 into 55 is 165 or not. Nothing else. Right? Now let us see the next question. Total surface area of a solid hemisphere, which is 3 pi r square, is equal to 75 times of the area of a circle whose diameter is 6. That means whose radius is 3. Can I write like this? Now pi anyhow get cancelled. R square is equal to 25 into 3 square, which is 5 square into 3 square. So R becomes 5 into 3, which is 15. So that's what he's asking. This is also a very straightforward question where no wastage of time is needed. Only thing you need to know is total surface area of a hemisphere is 2 pi r square plus pi r square, which is 3 pi r square. Let's see what is given next. A takes 10 days less than B to complete a work, and together they can do the work in 12 days. Let's say B is taking X days and A will be taking X minus 10 days. Their total efficiency equal 1 by 12. If options were there, actually in the exam options were there, we can directly by options verification, you can do the answer. No need of doing, but still, because options I did not present here, I'm just doing this. 12 goes here, 12 into 2x minus 10 is equal to x square minus 10x. If I rearrange x square minus 34x plus 120 equals 0, all to the right hand side. So 120 is 30 into 4 minus 30 minus 4. So your roots are plus 30 plus 4. But 4 days cannot be B because 10 days less should be A. 4 days, say 10 days less will be negative. So the only possible days for B is 30 days. Nothing else. Straightforward. You should be good at cracking quadratic equations, which will be a topic that we deal normally in arithmetic section. Right? Let's see the next one, what is given. A shopkeeper calculates his profit as 12% with selling price as the base. So when selling price is taken as the base of calculation for profit, which actually has to be taken with cost price, I can say selling price by cost price relation can be taken as 100 by 88. That means even if I do not sell the last 12 articles out of 100, I will get the same amount that comes out. Now he is saying, if this is the relation happening, what is the actual profit percentage if the selling price is 20% more? If the selling price is 20% more, it should be increased by 120. This selling price by cost price relation increases. Now see, you can see 100 is okay. That is actually to see what percentage. 120 by 88. I can cancel it with 8. I can say the fraction 15 by 11. I can see the fraction. 15 by 11 actually says there is 4 by 11 extra. So whatever extra is the profit percentage we get. So 4 by 11 is the profit. What is 4 by 11 as percentage? 4 into 9.09, which is 36.36%. All these are simple games of compounding. This is also a magic of compounding. So once we know the process of compounding and proportions, we can answer many questions wherever these type of changes are happening. So just go through the video of proportions to understand how easily we can do the magic of compounding by simply knowing the fractions and tables, multiplication tables up to 20. No unnecessary formula, nothing. Right? Let's see. Some people might be wondering how we got this. I can say profit equal to selling price minus cost price. Profit is 12% selling price is equal to SP minus CP. You rearrange, you can say 88% SP is equal to CP. Or you can say SP by CP equal to 88% goes outside, that side becomes it. We don't do all these things because logically we say when 12% selling price is a gain, Even if you do not sell this 12% last piece, you are getting the same amount as you invest. So by selling 88 pieces, you are getting money of 100 pieces back. So that's the logic we use. Now let us see the next one. A shopkeeper purchases some pens at the same price for 384 rupees. He sells some of them for 114 rupees without profit, without loss. That means at the same cost price he has to sell without profit, without loss means. What's the least possible number of pens that can be left with him? So if he is buying at the same price for 384 and selling also some of the pens at 114, the price of the pens should be in such a way, it should be definitely cancel dividing these two, because you cannot buy 6.5 pence like that. So the price must be perfect divisor or factor of 384 as well as 114. We know that 114 is 19 into 6. 384 is equal to, we can say, 4 into 4 into 4 into 6. 64 into 6, actually I can write directly, but 4 into 5, I started cancelling with 444, we got like this. Now 19 cannot be the price of the pens because 19 cannot divide 384. And to have the least possible number of pens left with him, he should buy less number of pens and also sell the pens out of them. So what is the other factor that is possible other than 19? 6, which is common in both of them. So we can say 6 rupees is each pen's price. 6 rupees is each pen's price. That means he totally bought 64 pens, out of which he sold 19 pens. So what is the number of pens still left out with him? 45. You can actually see other cases also. If you split 6 as 3 into 2, you can even say each pen is 2 rupees. You can say that also. If each pen is 2 rupees, he is totally buying 192 pens, out of which is selling only 57 pens. Then the number of pens left is obviously more than 100, which is more than this. So for getting least possible number of pens, I have to take the highest possible price of each pen. That's why I took 6, which is the highest common factor for both of them. He's indirectly asking the highest common factor for both of them, which is 6. That is the price of the pen. So 64 pence bought, 19 pence sold, 45 pence remaining. Simple, right? Let us see if our team has segregated any more questions. That means they have taken these 10 questions out of today's slots. So this is how you can actually answer TCS questions or any other aptitude questions happily, provided you know the logics part. Many people actually suffer in aptitude exams because they unnecessarily go for saying some tricks, some shortcuts, which actually do not work for everywhere, every question. Please do not unnecessarily go for them. Very simple observation or option verification. This is straightforward compounding. We say 13 8 104, 8 means 80, 80 means 20% discount. This is straightforward question. So 72.8 actually tells you 1728. 1728 is about 12 cube. 12 cube is 20% interest, 20% more than 18.2 by nearly 10%. So this is directly mean deviation, mean of all the deviations. 30, he is asking 3 into 55 is 165, whether you are able to crack it or not. This is straightforward again. Here, once you come here, this don't put more and more steps on the paper, unnecessary. So 30 into 4, you can see minus 30 minus 4 as a combination. So 30 and 4 are the possibilities. 4 cannot be the number of days because A has to be 10 days less than that, which cannot be negative. So 30 is the only possibility. And this is a classic example where selling price per, we have taken profit percentage. So this is the relation I can take. If selling price is 100, 12% less will be the investment needed, 88, but 20% increase happened again, which is giving 15 by 11. By seeing the fractions itself, we can see profit or loss. Once you know profit, fractions and percentages. 1 by 11 is nothing but 9.09%. So 4 by 11 is 4 times 9.09, which is 36 point something, which is more or extra is called profit. This is again finding the highest common factor for them, which is 6, which is the cost of each pen, and then answering the question, right? So this is the best way or the best approach or most logical approach that has to be taken up when you are taking the aptitude examination. If anybody is telling you about shortcuts or tricks or something, they are actually tricking you, and they are earning name, fame, money, whatever it is in shortcut. So don't unnecessarily fall for shortcuts or tricks. I always say this. So Keep concepts in mind, keep your logics in mind, basic observations and slight tables up to 20. You can even crack examinations like CAT. Thank you. All the best. Hope you will be cracking your placements this season.